Yo, what's good everyone? Thank you for tuning in to today's video. As you can tell by the title, we are back again with yet another review. But before we dive in, I want to welcome back any of my returning subscribers, and if you are new around here, welcome to the channel. On this channel, we do release brand new sneaker content just like this each and every week. So if you haven't already, please consider smashing that subscribe button. Do also make sure the bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video. And if you do end up enjoying this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. It truly does help getting this video out to more and more people so we can keep expanding our community. As things stand, we're still on the road to 2,000 subscribers, and with your guys' help, I know that we can smash that by the end of the year. And if you do want to find me outside of YouTube, you can find me over on Instagram under ACS Sneakers. And with all the formalities out of the way, let's go ahead and dive straight in. So just like we always do, before we dive into the shoes, let's just take a quick look at the shoebox. Now, massive shout out to the Hermes delivery driver, and also a shout out to JD for not having the foresight to actually double box it. But if we actually do take a look at the details, as you can see, we do actually have this primarily either black or dark navy colour throughout. And then the biggest giveaway in the centre, we do have the Nike Air Force One branding. Now, as you can see on the side of the box was actually taped up, which I've taken off. And then on the back portion, just to give you a quick look, as you can see, the lid is a little bit ripped. Fantastic. If we then take a quick look at the label, which reads Air Force One 07 LV8 in the light stone black sail colourway. Now, this is actually a 8.5, and it is a personal pair, but I will get into the sizing later on in the video. And then if we do take a look inside the box, on the inside, pretty standard tissue paper, and then just underneath that, we have the kicks. So now let's go ahead and dive straight in. So just before we actually take a look at the shoes themselves, I just want to do a little bit of shameless self-promoting. So if you do actually want to skip ahead, please feel free to do so. But if you do end up sticking around, I want to let anybody know who's interested that I've recently joined up to be part of a brand new podcast. Now, I was asked to do this by a really good friend of mine, Ash. He's been a long-time supporter of the channel, and even outside of YouTube and all these kinds of things, we're really good friends. So I was really excited when he asked me to be part of it. Now, it's called the Sneaker World Order, and it is what it says. We just pretty much just sit around for a couple of hours every week discussing the latest releases, what we've recently picked up, and pretty much just have a conversation for sneakerheads, by sneakerheads, and it's a really great time. I absolutely love doing it. Not only is it me and Ash that are doing it, we do actually have a couple of fellow YouTubers as well. We have Blazer Reggie, so massive shout out to you. And more recently, we've just had another YouTuber join us, and his name is Patrick Townsend. I'm absolutely a massive fan of his channel. I've been a big fan of his content for a long time, so it's really exciting to have him on board as well. And honestly, the last two episodes, which by the time this video comes out, will actually be on YouTube as well. So I will make sure to link them in my description area below. It's been a great time doing it. We have some really exciting guests that are lined up over the next few months. Ash has been going crazy getting some really exciting guests. I can't actually tell you guys who's coming on as yet. I'm not exactly sure if it's been announced. I know that our next guest is actually the guys over at Show Your Crepes. And if you follow them on Instagram, you'll know how good their content is. So that'll be out next week. It's honestly a really great time. I love doing it, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. So genuinely go ahead, check us out. All the support is massively appreciated. And at long last, let's go ahead and take a look at the shoes. So without any further ado, here we have the Nike Air Force One First Use. Now, for those of you that don't already know, this shoe did actually release alongside a few other releases as well. So I believe there was a couple of Air Max 90s, both for men and women in different sizing. There was also a Nike Blazer that released, and other Air Force One colorways as well. This one in particular was just the one that I had to have.
Shut up and take my money!
No ifs or buts about it. As soon as I saw it, I just knew I had to add this shoe to my collection. So what I'll do, just like I do with all of my reviews, I'll break it down section by section so you can see exactly what's gone into this shoe. And hopefully by the end of the video, help you guys decide whether or not this is actually a shoe that's worth picking up. So if we start out with the uppers to begin with, specifically the toe box. Now the toe box has been constructed using this really nice plush sail leather material with the standard perforations. Now the leather itself is much better than your standard GR, so if you've had like the triple whites or the triple black colorway or just any of your other standard Air Force Ones, the leather quality on this shoe in particular is much better than what you've seen on those. It's really soft to touch, has a really great texture to it, and it just feels really nice. Don't get me wrong, it's not the most premium leather in the world. It's probably going to crease incredibly quickly like all Air Force Ones do. So if you do end up deciding to pick up this shoe and you do want to try and avoid those creases, I'd highly recommend picking up some of these Crease Guards from my good friends over at Shoe Stack. Now, this isn't a sponsored video or anything like that. They've not asked me to do this, but I do generally use these, especially in my Air Force Ones, because as I've just kind of touched on, the creasing on Air Force Ones is pretty bad, pretty much the minute you do actually start to wear them. Now, I've used these Crease Guards on numerous occasions, and they're genuinely some of the best that I've ever tried. There are some pretty good alternative options on the market, but the reason I use these ones in particular is because of how pliable the materials are, and it just feels a lot more comfortable than some of the other alternatives. They are really affordable as well, and you do get 3 per pack, which is a really good value for money. So if you do want to try and pick some up, I will make sure to link it in my description area below, and hopefully you guys will actually feel the benefits like I did. So if we then continue on with the rest of the toe box, as you can see, wrapping right the way around, we do have this really nice light stone short-haired suede. Now, the same suede material can also be seen on the eye stays as well as towards the back heel of the shoe. Now, what I would say is that the suede that you see on the eye stays and towards the heel is a little bit more of a hairier suede than what we see around the front of the shoe. It's just a little bit more of a rougher material, feels a little bit hairier as well. But in general, all the suede overlays are of a pretty decent quality. If we then continue to work our way back, in the midfoot, as you can see, we do have more of that really nice sail coloured leather, and incorporated into this leather panel, we do have that black embroidered Nike swoosh. Now, just underneath this, we have the text that reads, first use June 18th, 1971. And the reason they put that is the very first time the swoosh was created or designed, it was done by a woman called Carolyn Davidson. And I believe the very first time it was used on a Nike shoe was June 18th, 1971. So Nike rolling back the gears, I absolutely love to see it, and they've actually done a mix and match swoosh, because on the medial side we do have the traditional leather swoosh with this really nice light tumble into it. So if we then just move back into the centre of the shoe, in the centre we do have this almost Sakai vapor waffle style of lacing, as we have a combination of the light stone and sail coloured laces. Personally, I'm not a massive fan of it. It's not something that I would like on an Air Force One specifically. Don't get me wrong, I really like how it looks on the vapor waffles, but when it comes to a classic like this, I'm just not a really big fan of it, so I'll probably end up taking out the sail laces and just leaving it with the light stone, and I think that will look a lot better for me. And then also incorporated into the laces, we do have this lace clip, which is a Nike swoosh, which is jeweled. So the laces do actually sit atop this nylon tongue, and if we move up the laces to the top of the tongue, we do have that traditional OG style of branding with the lowercase Nike text with that orange Nike swoosh. If we then continue to work our way inside the shoe, now around the sock liner, we do have more of that really nice light stone colour. As far as the padding is concerned, it's not any different to your standard Air Force One as far as I'm concerned. It may be slightly more padded, but in general, if you've had any Air Force One in the past, which I expect that most people have, you should pretty much know what to expect. It's moderately padded, it's pretty comfortable, but it's not necessarily the most comfortable shoe in the world. If we then just continue to work our way even further into the shoe and take a look at the insole, as you can see, we do have more really nice callbacks to the first use of the Nike swoosh. I absolutely love the fact that they've given us a full chronological breakdown of the development of the Nike swoosh, but it also at the same time also showing us the development of Nike as a brand from when the swoosh was originally used to where we're at now. I mean, the more recent swoosh is almost 30 years old, so if you are a collector of Air Force Ones or if you're a collector of Nike products, I genuinely believe that this is actually a must-cop for most people. The shoe was a GR, it was readily available, and I do genuinely believe that this could actually be the Air Force One of the year. The details on the shoe is just absolutely immense. Great, now I've got to try and get this thing back in. Well, that was easier than I thought. Oh, you know you're getting late into the day when a brew's coming. Here we go. Wonderful timing. Cheers. But if we then just work our way back to the heel of the shoe, as you can see, we have a really nice pop of colour with this all red suede, and incorporated into this suede material, we do have that lowercase Nike branding. And if we then just work our way down to the midsole, as you can see, we do have a primarily white midsole. Unfortunately, we do actually have this red threading, and which kind of contradicts what I was saying about the pop of colour on the heel. I really don't like this. I think it doesn't contrast very well at all, and I think the standard white stitching would have looked absolutely fine, but that's just a personal preference. And then switching over to the outsole of the shoe, as you can see, we just have that traditional all white Air Force outsole. So in terms of sizing, as far as I'm concerned, whenever it comes to the Air Force One, I do go a half size down at least. Now, as I was kind of alluding to at the start of the video, I'm normally a 9. I went with an 8.5, and I've tried this on. It fits me perfectly, just like all my other Air Force Ones do. Not that I have that many in the collection, but I've had my fair share, and going a half size down is generally the best outcome for me. If there's any opportunity for you to try a shoe, which you probably will be able to because Air Force Ones are pretty readily available, I'd highly recommend that you do that just so you can understand the best fit for you. If you don't have that option, or if you're not really local to any places that sells them, I do definitely recommend that you do go half size down, and that's definitely going to be your best bet. And other than that, I think we've just about covered everything that's worth covering, so if we now just go ahead and wrap this video up. So just to wrap up this video, in terms of my overall opinion on the shoe itself, I'm going to give these a solid 8 out of 10. I genuinely love this shoe, and I do believe it's actually releasing at the perfect time of year. It's already getting really warm, summer is approaching, and because of how muted the colour is on it, it's a really simple shoe to wear with most outfits, whether you're wearing cargos, jeans, shorts, trousers. This shoe is going to complement most outfits really well, and I do genuinely believe that it's going to be a really solid shoe for any summer collection. If you guys would like to see my summer collection, since we did so well hitting the like target on my Skepta video, if we can get this video to 50 likes as well, I'll make sure to bring out my summer collection so you guys can see exactly what I'm planning to rock. But I'd love to get your guys' opinions on the shoe as well, so if you haven't already, please make sure to leave me a comment in the comment section below. I do make sure to read and respond to every single comment that gets left on all of my videos, as it's always massively appreciated. Also, if you haven't already, please consider smashing that subscribe button. Also, do make sure the bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video. I've got loads of exciting content coming up over the next few weeks. Some never before seen type of videos that we're working on. And I've also got crazy amounts of reviews coming as well. So do make sure that bell notification is switched on. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a massive thumbs up on your way out. And I hope to see you all again in the next one.